Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up tired, spend hours doing things, and still feel like you're falling behind? You're not alone. Many people feel overwhelmed, distracted, exhausted, and strangely dissatisfied, even though modern life is more comfortable than at any other point in human history. So why does life feel so overwhelming? The answer may not be what you think, because the problem isn't simply that we have too much to do. The problem is that our brains were never designed for the world we've created. Let's start with the first reason. Information overload. For most of human history, information was scarce. People lived in small communities and received only a limited amount of news, ideas, and opinions. Today, before you've even finished breakfast, you may have consumed more information than someone centuries ago would encounter in an entire month. News headlines, social media posts, messages, videos, emails, podcasts, notifications. Your brain is constantly processing new information, whether you realize it or not. The result is mental fatigue. Not because you're physically exhausted, but because your attention is being pulled in dozens of directions at the same time. The second reason is constant comparison. For most of history, people compared themselves to a few dozen people in their village or town. Today, you're comparing yourself to millions. You see entrepreneurs making millions, athletes in perfect shape, couples with perfect relationships, travelers exploring the world. And even when you know these images are curated, your brain still treats them as reality. The result is a feeling that you're always behind. No matter how much progress you make, someone else appears to be doing better. The third reason is the loss of boredom. That might sound strange. After all, boredom feels unpleasant. But boredom once served an important purpose. It gave the mind time to wander, to reflect, to process emotions, to think creatively. Today, every quiet moment is filled. Waiting in line? Check your phone. Riding the train? Watch a video? Sitting alone? Open an app? Modern technology has almost eliminated boredom. But in doing so, it may also have reduced our ability to think deeply and recover mentally. The fourth reason is decision fatigue. Every day, modern life forces us to make hundreds of decisions. What should I eat? What should I wear? Which show should I watch? Which article should I read? Which message should I answer first? Many of these choices seem small, but together they consume mental energy. By the end of the day, people often feel exhausted, not because they've worked harder than previous generations, but because they've spent the entire day making decisions. The fifth reason is a lack of meaning. Humans are remarkably good at enduring difficulty when they believe it serves a purpose. History is full of people who survived incredible hardship because they felt connected to something larger than themselves. A family, a community, a mission, a belief. Modern life has given us convenience, comfort, and endless entertainment. But many people still struggle with a simple question: why am I doing all of this? Without a sense of meaning, even a comfortable life can feel overwhelming. Because the problem is no longer physical survival, it's psychological direction. And that's perhaps the biggest lesson of all. Modern life isn't overwhelming because we're weak. It's overwhelming because our environment is changing faster than our minds can adapt. We're carrying ancient brains into a world of infinite information, endless comparison, constant stimulation, and unlimited choices. Understanding that doesn't solve every problem. But it does help explain why so many people feel exhausted despite living in the most advanced era in human history. Perhaps the answer isn't to do more. Perhaps the answer is to slow down, focus on what matters, and reclaim a little of the simplicity we've lost. Because sometimes the best way forward is not to keep up with the world. It's to step back and see it from a different perspective. So what can we actually do about it? The first step is surprisingly simple. Reduce your information intake. Most people focus on managing their time, but time is rarely the real problem. Attention is. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources you have, and modern technology is constantly competing for it. You don't need to know every headline. You don't need to follow every trend. You don't need to consume endless content. Sometimes the fastest way to feel less overwhelmed is not to become more productive. It's to remove unnecessary inputs. The second step is to create moments of boredom. That may sound counterintuitive, but boredom is where reflection begins. It's where ideas form. It's where the mind processes experiences. Try taking a walk without headphones. Sit quietly for 10 minutes. Leave your phone behind for a short period of time. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but over time, you'll rediscover something modern life rarely provides: mental space. The third step is to focus on what truly matters. Modern life constantly encourages us to chase more. More information, more success, more entertainment, more achievements. But meaning rarely comes from having more. It comes from knowing what is important and giving it your full attention. Your family, your friends, your health, your craft, your purpose. When you become clear on what matters most, many of the distractions that once felt urgent begin to lose their power. Modern life may never become simple again, but that doesn't mean we have to surrender to the chaos. Because while we can't control the speed of the world around us, we can choose where we place our attention. And in the end, that choice may be the difference between feeling overwhelmed by life and feeling in control of it.